Jody, can you text Steve Howard, please?
I will. I'm not sure I have his cell phone number.
I do. Hold on. I just don't like being on my phone when we're on these things.
I might.
I got it, Jode.
Okay.
We have a quorum, so we're all right. Mel, time do you show?
I am showing 6:30.
As am I. It is 6:30, and we will call the City Council meeting for November 17th to order. If you look on our agenda tonight, the first item on our agenda is a recap of the public hearing for our USDA Rural Development Water Assistance Project. And this is a recap of what we went through with Colette online a few months back, but due to some time constraints and having to deal with some other outside issues, our application was submitted, and we have to have a meeting like this within X number of days, within 60 days, I believe it is, of submission of our application. So RD said we could go back and do a recap for the folks, and that would pass and allow us to go ahead and get our application in place. So basically, the background is to address the water deficiencies in our system. We have retained Great West Engineering to complete the PER, the preliminary engineering report, which was done and presented. And it also identifies issues, alternative solutions to address identified issues, and funding sources for necessary improvements. Our problem is the water loss system averages somewhere between 40% loss on a normal basis and sometimes can be as high as 70%. This is likely attributable to the remaining portions of the original system that are still in place, which date back to the early 1900s. We were trying to figure out today when exactly it was that some of this stuff had not been maintained from. So we only missed it by 64 years, Jody. Leaking water mains increase the threat of backflow event and provide entry points for contamination. Many of our mains are only 4-inch in diameters, which limits flows that can be critical in an emergency fire situation. And the city does not have a reliable, redundant water supply source, and the wells that feed through the storage tanks are through a single transmission main. A break in that transmission main leaves much of the community without water, and our storage capacity does not meet the DEQ requirements based on projected flows. We had some alternatives considered. Distribution system improvements were no action. Replace ductile iron, cast iron, and asbestos cement pipes to improve fire flow capacity and reduce leakage in the system. Some storage improvements were no action, or looking at replacing existing 250,000 gallon tank with a new 310,000 gallon tank, a glass lined steel tank, pre-stressed concrete tank, and a welded steel tank were the options that were presented. The supply improvements looked at were no action, and to develop a new infiltration gallery water supply source and transmission main. After going through the process with Great West, it was decided that we would look at developing an additional water supply source and transmission main that would create redundancy in the system to ensure people are not out of water for an extended period of time if there's an issue with the existing water main supply or if there's a break in the existing transmission main. Some of our distribution system improvements we were talking about is replacing about 4,200 feet of 4-inch and 6-inch ductile iron pipe in the area north of 1st Street Northeast, from 3rd Avenue Northeast to 5th Avenue Northeast, with new 8-inch PVC pipe. Construct about 1,800 feet of new 8-inch PVC pipe to provide looping in the system on 3rd Street Northeast and 2nd Street Northeast from 5th Avenue Northeast to Rice Avenue. And this area is prioritized due to address existing ductile iron mains and limited fire flow capacity. These were the options that were presented that were chosen by the city at the time to look at. Estimated project costs were $4.16 million. Our preferred funding package in the PER included a DNRC grant for $125,000, a TCEP grant for $625,000, an RD loan for $662,000, an RD grant, excuse me, for $662,200, an RD loan at $2,347,800, and a local contribution from the city of Choteau at $400,000. Our preferred funding package would result in an estimated increase of between $7 and $9 per user per month in fees. Backup funding package if DNRC and TCEP grants are not awarded was an R&D grant for $827,200, a R&D loan of $2,932,800, and local contributions from the city of Choteau for $400,000. The backup funding package would result in an estimated increase of $10 to $11 per user per month if our preferred package did not go through. That being said, our applications and everything have been updated, corrected, reviewed, and have been submitted. So preferred option 1 is on the table at this time. And I just was curious if there's any additional questions out there from council or those in attendance concerning the preliminary engineering report for our water system improvements, not wastewater, but delivery.
Yeah, this is Councilman Major.
Yes, sir.
What's the repayment period on it? On the
It'd be-
loans, go ahead.
40 years.
Thank you.
Okay, is that typical?
For RD, yes, it'll be 30 to 40 years, depending on, that'll be our choice.
Okay.
Depending on what I would assume that you guys would decide, depending on what rates would do.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Public? Mel?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I will close the public hearing. And we will move on. Next item up on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the city council meeting from November 4th.
Move to approve the minutes.
I have a motion to approve by Councilman D.
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Merja.
That was actually Major.
Okay, Councilman Major. I saw Councilman Merja put up his fingers, so I apologize.
I was muted.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or additions?
Nope.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Anybody going to be out of state?
Yeah, this is Major. I am.
Okay. You're going to miss a meeting, Councilman?
No,
Okay. Out when? Do you know offhand?
yeah, it's going to be Thanksgiving through that weekend.
Oh, okay. Leaving 23, 24, 25,
24.
24. Okay. 24 through 29.
Yep,
I hope your hunting season is filled.
just finished.
I saw that when I was coming out here. Okay. New business tonight. We've got tonight's just basically a reports meeting for us all, as most everybody knows. In front of you is the Teton County Sheriff report. You can see there was traffic citations, 8 arrests, 8 citations, and 5 arrests within from October 1 to Halloween. And they had answered additional 82 calls in Choteau. Questions concerning them tonight? I would imagine most of these were in the Acantha anyways, if people wanted to go back and look. So since we're running behind 30 days anyways. Next one would be, Steve, what's next on your sheet? I believe it's the city attorney for, this is our civil side.
Yep.
You can see what was done on the civil side last month for us. Most all of it goes to the Ed Baumgartner case. Next on your list, Steve.
I have zoning.
Okay. You'll see the zoning and building permit reports for Bill and Donna West, Andrea Grine, Andrew and Claudia Scott, and Mark Allum. And councilmen and those guys out there need to understand that these permits come in and these zoning things come in and they're on Tom's desk, they get approved or they get sent back to the people, but we at city council we don't have to approve these. It's handled internally. It could take 30 to 60 days for them to get through the system. But once they are approved by Tom and signed off on as being accurate and taken care of, those people can go to work. They're not held up until these things come to us and we look at them. So there could be a time when someone's facility or someone's garage is 90% complete before it comes across on our zoning report list as being that way. So yes. So if someone were to ask you about that, I'd want you to know that, okay? What else you got up there, Steve? Should be Public Works. Yep. You can look at our influent flows, remain very good. Blue is 2020, and we are literally miles ahead of
It's
where we've been
unbelievable. It's
in
impressive.
the past. Well, if you just look in the last 12 months, we've cut it down by over 50%.
Oh yeah.
From over 800,000 gallons last November to right at 400,000 gallons this November. We're making progress. We're doing
Kudos
good
to Mike
things.
and his crew.
Oh yeah, and they are fetching and stepping these days, no doubt about it. Presence and concentration of the SARS virus genome in the wastewater. So we got our latest report today. I did pass that to Mel and to Melissa, Teton County Health Department to look at. You can see where the concentration is the blue line this is just Choteau's water, and the other the green line and the red line are new cases per day and active cases. So, and that's countywide. So this is, we don't have the ability to get the Choteau numbers from the health department, so we could do a
True analysis.
true layover. And I send that stuff to Melissa, hoping that they're doing it on the backside.
Well, it'd be good just for them to know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But if you go to the next page, Steve, our sample has a higher concentration levels than 90% of all quantifiable samples collected in the past 6 weeks. I don't think that's a good place to be. Yep. Our treatment plant is treating wastewater very well, effluent samples since our last report. You can see we are doing extremely well. We were late getting a water sample out this last week because of we had a computer go down with the power
The wind.
fluctuations, and so we couldn't get our samples. It didn't draw the samples properly. Public wastewater or public water system, water tests have all come back good. Our water loss is up there, as you can see. We're about 59% water loss in the month of October. We have plowed and moved literally tons of snow. I don't know if this big snowdrift is still over on the south side of the school. They were going to try and chip away at that as best they could, but Mike said that was the biggest snowdrift he had seen in his remembrance of trying to keep Choteau streets clean. And then we have the normal mix of everyday tasks: water shutoffs, water repairs, water sampling, wastewater sampling, garbage collection, things along those lines. The group on First Street Northeast, the Dutton Highway. They will finish that up tomorrow afternoon, and it'll be have flowable fill will be put in it, and then that will be traffic controlled until that stuff settles and gets taken care of. Okay. We found a line over there. We don't know what it is. Don't know where it goes. But Mike believes it's an old gas line because it's covered and treated like an old gas line would be. But we lose it. Mike was going to go do some more, I guess you'd call it private eyeing and see what he could find, track it down. As you know, we are down a gentleman on the public works staff. He should be cleared to return to work on Monday for us. And currently we have another one out pending test results as well. So Mike has put everybody in separate vehicles, and everyone is to social distance and do the best they can to stay away from each other. The governor's mandate today, after his press conferences, effective Friday, everyone in City Hall will be wearing masks while they're at work. Next, who you got, Steve? This will be Jody.
Yep.
Is it not, Jody?
It is.
This. Yep.
It's light reading that'll put
Yes.
you all to sleep.
Yeah.
Jody's been finishing up our year-end reports. I believe they're Gatsby stuff is what they're called.
This is the management discussion and analysis. It actually will go in the annual financial report. It's just kind of the overview of what the finances for the city of Choteau through, water, sewer, garbage, and all our governmental funds and where we're sitting. We are sitting very well. We're down just a little bit, and that's because we have had a lot of projects. We've done chip sealing. Last year we did our first chip sealing in several years. We have had different sewer small projects that Mike's been doing, and water projects and water leaks, and we have bought a couple pieces of equipment. So, but all in all, we're sitting very well. I'm not real sure what's going to happen this year in the legislative session, but hopefully, because we have always been very conservative in our budgeting, that we will be better off than some.
Any areas of concern we need to be aware of, Jody?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. All right. We did not have one from Jen from the criminal side. She was out of the office last week, and she didn't get back till Sunday night, and I spoke with her and told her, no worries. If you can get me one, you can get me one. If not, we'll get caught up next month as well. And I didn't get one from City Court either. I did speak to Gail, and they got busy and forgot to get it sent over to us. We'll get them caught up next week or next report period. So, Councilman Rochambeau to go first. Councilman Burja, you look excited. Go.
I don't have anything.
Did you get the mountain lion out of your neighborhood?
So, yeah,
I heard
actually, question on that. So I heard through the school or through my kid who was at the school that it was captured. Did we get any kind of update?
That information was not provided to us. I got a phone call yesterday morning at City Hall, and the sheriff's office said that we have by far more followers on our Facebook page and asked us to get it out there as quick as we could, that there had been a mountain lion seen over up 9th Avenue Northwest or Southwest between that and the river.
Well, and I want to know who called the news station, because on the news station, it was right there in our open field was the address given. It's not
that
up.
Was because that's where I drug, when I did the local alert on the Facebook page, I drug the pin over to that part of town. And I think that's where I dropped the pin.
Yeah. So they have been following the City of Choteau page since Chris has been doing updates, and they are pulling news straight off of our Facebook page.
Got it. Okay. See, that's what I wondered, because somebody's like, well, it was in your field. And I'm like, well,
I'll drop it on your house next time, Stuart.
Hey, all right. But yeah, I just, I guess if a capture did happen, maybe we should know about it, because we should put that out there that, hey, this happened, and it's no longer an issue. I know there are several parents who are quite concerned about it.
There was cat tracks down around the weather beater building as well.
Yay.
So I'll do some digging on that, Councilman, but no one reached back out to us.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
Councilman D.
A couple things. First of all, just a shout out to Councilman Major's son Jacob, who'll be receiving his Eagle Scout Court of Honor this week. So big kudos to him. He's one of my scouts in the troop. Lions Club is doing the community dinner for Thanksgiving again. And folks can, if you go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Choteau Lions Club, we have an online form if you want to pick up or have delivered a dinner. The Lions Club is happy to provide that service to folks in the community. Delivery can only take place inside the city limits. And there are also paper forms available at the post office. I believe it's going out to the schools, to the kids today. It would have gone out with their Wednesday packets, and it's being distributed throughout the community with the food pantry and other locations as well. You can also text 406-282-1129 with your meal order and time for pickup or delivery, and we can get you entered into our system. Yes, sir.
So are you guys just doing pickup takeout or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
only pickup or takeout.
That maybe put that on it. If it is on it, I missed it.
Yep, it should be on there, but I will reiterate it that it is only pickup or takeout. The final thing is two other things, actually. So December 5th is the Chamber Christmas Stroll. That'll be going on. Head to ChoteauChristmasStroll.com for details and information. Thanks to Tom, Heather, and Jill, former Councilwoman Jill Owen, for leading the charge on making that happen this year. And then I think we'll have a council meeting in the intermediary, but December 12th, the Two Medicine Dinosaur Center, soon to be changed their name to the Montana Dinosaur Center, will be hosting their online virtual Christmas party, and everyone's invited. We do have all sorts of goodies. If you like dinosaurs, you love Christmas, we've got all sorts of stuff on our Christmas store, and we are also sending out cookies since folks can't get them in-house. So
It does say, Steve, you do have on there, this year's meals will be drive up or delivery only.
perfect.
So I just missed it the first time and the second time. So thank you.
You bet. That's all I've got. Quite the mouthful.
Councilman D, is there a way we could put a PDF of that out on our Facebook page?
Out of which?
The order form.
Yeah, I've got the order form. I've got the link, got the text number. We can put it all out there.
Get her
We'll
done.
do it. Yep.
Councilman Howard, you got a fire report for us too?
I do. I have a fire report. So
I figured as much.
since the last report, we only had one city call, and it was a mutual aid with the town of Augusta. So we did send 8 people, the city truck and 1 county tender over to assist Augusta with the bunkhouse motel burning down. We had our elections. All of our officers stayed the same. So Matt Passmore is still our chief. And Jody had asked us about kind of a wish list for some possible grant stuff. Some of our short list stuff came up where we thought we could possibly use 2 AEDs. And we need some light bars for some of our trucks for vehicle accidents, for off-road incidences. And our radios are kind of outdated. We're still in pretty good shape, but we're starting to upgrade, and the ones we have are no longer made, but we can get a few parts for them, so we are good as far as the parts. But we're in the need of about 10 new handheld radios. So if that's something with your grants,
Can you bring me that list or even send it to me or?
yeah, I can
And
get.
Okay.
Jody, I might, for radio specifically, I might have a grant for you.
Okay,
Remind me in the morning and I'll send it over to you.
Is
Okay.
there still some CARES money out there for that kind of stuff?
I'd have to find out. I'm not really sure. There is a lot of grant money out there right now. I do have a couple things Steve, that I'm going to go ahead and try for those helmets and those, was it the turnouts that
The
you guys?
boots, helmets and boots.
Yeah, we might as well, I've got the invoices for those. We might as well try those as well. If we get
Okay.
money back, then we can put some more money into your capital improvement fund for your dream, other stuff, your bigger stuff. So,
Yeah, and then PPEs are, we kind of didn't get very far with the county as far as getting anything, so we're a little short on our trucks with PPEs, but so far so good, but we're getting kind of light on them.
can't we get some of that directly through the state? I'm not sure of that. I'm asking.
Well, possibly. I'll talk to you
Okay.
about that later.
Okay.
And then one last thing I have, I think Steve D forwarded this to me or somehow, but I got an email from a gal from out of state about Veterans Day, and she
Yep.
put a flag in a yard in New York, was it?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, for Lee Nordahl. Somehow she had kind of watched him, and I thought it was a real interesting story, and I didn't know if Mel had been aware of that. It could almost be a story that Mel might want to put in the paper or something.
I'll forward it to her right now, Councilman.
Okay, because the Lee Nordahl Memorial here in Choteau was just completed, I think, within the last year up at the cemetery.
Steve, it's probably the same gal that corresponded with me earlier. And I called your dad and left a message for him because it's something that really needs to go to him. And he's never called me back. So if you see him, you could tell him I've got this letter from this person that, and it applies to the Nordahl family into that.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'll hand deliver him to you.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. That's all I have.
Councilman Major, the Great White Hunter.
Yeah, I didn't have anything other than I also got that email on Lee Nordahl. So thanks for bringing it up, Steve. With that in mind, I don't have anything.
Okay. I just got a text message that said if the city buys PPE for the fire department, they should be able to get reimbursed like the county does or other entities do through a local government reimbursement grant.
I think we can get reimbursed through the CARES money. It would be the one that we would get actually in the end of December, but we can.
Okay.
So if it's through the CARES, did I hear him right today? And we've got to spend that by December 30th?
Has to be invoiced
Right.
by then.
What happens is, like I have one right now that I have to submit every quarter. I have a form that I have to fill out and I submit for the certain things that we've purchased, like the computers that you guys are on right now. You know, we're getting reimbursed for certain things when we buy gloves, when we buy masks, then I submit that to the state for the city's portion of the monies that has been set aside for them. And then and they will reimburse us for those. So as long as we get it right away, we have to have the money spent by December 31st. So you'll need to get it right away.
Okay, from my desk, you guys, we got a nice thank you letter in the mail from Gene Sense. It's sitting on my desk about the information we've been providing and the letters to the editor and things about that as far as the COVID-19 goes and masking up and things upon those lines. We received notice that the paperwork had been submitted to the Supreme Court for Ed Bumgarner's case, and I believe Ed has until the 2nd of December to file his briefs with them so that we have time to respond. We have since filed our paperwork with the district court here, asking them to remove the stay that they put in place because, first of all, we never had an opportunity to testify or provide documents, I should say, in support of not granting the stay. We don't believe it's a move that should have been stayed anyways. So those paperworks have been filed and are on file. And Mel, if you'd like to see those, I can get them to you. 10 days at City Hall without staff went, I thought, very well. Jody, Tom, kudos for getting what you've done. working remotely. I know it was slow. The process was tedious at times, but I would pick up the mail and get the bills put together, get them and drop them off in a sealed mayonnaise jar at the Rogers residence for those guys to decontaminate and then process, and then they would turn around and replace them back, and we'd get them to the bank and things like that. I can't say enough about the general public. On a normal week, you guys, we average about 96 phone calls a week into City Hall. And in the 10 days that these guys were out, we had 33 phone calls. So people paid attention. People, the majority of the phone calls that came in were letting us know that our Google listing is out of date or, something along those lines. But the majority of the public was outstanding in taking care of things, using the mailbox, using the drop box. I did take one payment at the window when I was there one day, and I couldn't have asked for it. Had things got hectic, I'd have been reaching out to Councilman D and some others to come help me try not to lose the city while Jody and Tom were gone. We purchased a dump truck this evening for Public Works. Jody, just so you know, an FYI. We're going to take one of the old orange ones out of rotation. Those ones are getting old. We're still trying to find a larger dump truck so we can take the large white dump truck out. As many of you see it driving down the street, you're going to see that it kind of leans into the wind. And I thought it was just from hauling stuff into the wind all the time. So that it was that way, but actually the frame on it's kind of bent. So we're looking for a larger dump truck there as well. And we are back at full staff. The doors are closed. We're going to keep them closed. People can make appointments if they want to. But we're doing pretty well at City Hall. Mike is doing yeoman's work on the public works side, and we're trucking along quite nicely. No projected issues at this time. Mel or anybody from the public have anything for tonight? Kurt, Lonnie?
I have nothing for the good of the order.
Nothing for the good of the order. Our next meeting is scheduled for Monday, 1 December. And we will go by Zoom again, you guys. Thank you, Kurt and Lonnie, for the comment. If you guys need me, council members, you know how to get a hold of me. Jody, Tom, Mike, everybody does. We are available, or I'm available for you guys 24/7, 365. We're going to get through this. We're going to be better for it. And we'll be ready come legislative time to go fight for our dollars when it comes time for our upgrades for sewer and water. Have a good one, you guys. And we'll see you on 12/1.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.